Okay, question 13 from your homework last night. They've given you 2 points. We're going to plot them on a graph. Point C is at 6 and 5. And point M, which is a midpoint, is at 4 and 2. Now what they're telling us is there is a line. Point C is one of the endpoints. And M is the midpoint of the line. We're trying to find the other endpoint. Somewhere in there we would imagine by guesstimating. But we're actually going to use math to solve this. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to find the distance between point M and point C. Here's our C and M. So I need to find the distance between these 2 lines, which is something I haven't shown you guys a formula for, but I'm sure you guys could figure it out. If we look, point M is at 4 and point C starts at 6. So we know it moves 2 to the left on the x-axis. Okay? We also know that from point C to point M, we go from the number 5 all the way down to the number 2. So we've moved 3 down the y-axis. We'll do this in green. So we've gone down 3, and we've gone to the left 2. If that's the midpoint, all I need to do is repeat that pattern again. So I go down 1, 2, 3, and to the left 1, 2, and I've discovered endpoint D. D is at point x2, y, -1. Okay, another way we could have done this, if we could have set up the midpoint formula, and if you guys remember the midpoint formula was x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2, divided by 2, Okay, so we're going to use the midpoint formula to solve this. And what we're going to do with this is we know that these little formulas themselves are going to equal our new midpoint, which we actually have. So instead of just keeping it like that, we're going to set them up. x1 plus x2 is equal to divided by 2 is equal to our midpoint of x. So we're going to call xm. That will be the midpoint. Okay? The other idea is our y1 plus y2 divided by 2 is equal to y midpoint. And we're going to plug in variables for these. So we're going to call point C our first coordinate, and point M is our midpoint. Okay? So we'll write them down again, 6, 5, and 4, 2. 6, 5, 4, 2. That was our midpoint. This was our first point. So this is our x1, y1, and this is xm, ym. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug these variables, x1 in, xm, y1, and ym. And I'm going to solve for whatever variable's left, which will end up being the point we're looking for. So x1 was 6 plus x2 is what we're looking for. Divided by 2 is equal to, our xm was 4. y1 was 5 plus y2 is what we're looking for, divided by 2 is equal to ym, which is 2. Now remember, this comma separates these. These are 2 separate equations. We're going to solve for the variables in each of them. So first off, I need to move 2 to the other side in both equations because we're trying to isolate the variable. We'll end up with 6 plus x2 is equal to 4 times 2. 5 plus y2 is equal to 2 times 2. After that, we're going to need to move the number 6 to the other side and the number 5 to the other side. So I'll end up with x2 is equal to 4 times 2 is 8 minus 6. And y2 is equal to 2 times 2 is 4 minus 5. our points end up being x2 is equal to 2, and y2 is equal to -1, which are the exact same points I discovered by looking at it on the graph, 2 and -1.